What is good, ladies and gents? Let's see how many sabotages we get on this one. So, last time it would appear that the mic didn't work, and something to do with what we got up here. Some random people doing some weird shit. I'll be back in a minute. Right, well, that was interesting. Doing some random shit sat in a drinking trough for cattle that's been dried up for some time, but each to their own. Yeah, anyway, what is good, ladies and gents? Hope you're all doing alright, and hopefully there won't be much sabotage on this one, other than my own speaking, as we like to sabotage our own channel. Also, it would appear anyway. So, yeah, a little bit of time's gone past, about a week or so. Not much going on in the world. Can't see anything weird or any shit like that. So, everything must be okie dokie. So, yeah, it would appear that the sun does exist. Some is real, and yeah, solar minimum. Questionable. Doubt it somehow. Narrow path, narrow-minded. We'll stick to what we believe rather than what other people tell us to believe. But it doesn't stop the fun and games in the supermarkets though. That's just gonna get fun. And just little side projects of these wankers. I mean, eating meat and so forth. I mean, if you're a vegetarian, you're well away, aren't you? But I eat meat because, well, because we're meant to eat meat. And if you think not, then you're going to have a little bit of difficulty with the Passover lamb, aren't you? But anyway, so we've discovered some games, some fun and games, some social engineering games. So basically, since this year's server videos, where I start obviously saying Jesus, and you know that takes a nosedive to just about everything, because beep, turned that shit off straight away. But doesn't matter, we do it nonetheless. So I have lost 30 subscribers. First I lost 10, then I lost 10, then I lost 10. If anyone can calculate the odds of exactly 10 people rage quitting at exactly the same time across a set of 3 videos, then you'll find that statistically impossible. So what YouTube's doing is they are unsubscribing people. So they'll ask you bunches of questions and shit, and they'll look at your feeds of videos and they'll see what you like. And then if a video starts talking about something that they think that you might not like, then guess what they do? They unsub you from it. So, as I've been going through the comments and replying to everyone, I've been clicking on your names and resubscribing to your channels, because I didn't unsubscribe from you. But YouTube took the liberty of thinking, do you know what? I don't think Ninja likes that person anymore, so I'm going to unsubscribe him. Yeah, fucking wankers. Fucking wankers. However, what I would suggest to you, because I'm going to lose another exactly 10 subscribers for this one, is I would rage quit YouTube, and I would get yourself onto Odyssey. You can link your channel to Odyssey, and they will upload your videos. Obviously you will start with 0 subscribers again, or followers, or whatever the fuck they want to call it. People who choose to link themselves to your channel so they can see your uploads. Those people. And you'll have to basically start again. So on Odyssey or Library, I have a grand sum of 3 people who are watching, which is cool. Like, thank you, thanks for coming along. And if you are a grower and you upload onto YouTube, I would strongly suggest that you get yourself onto Odyssey, because Odyssey, unlike all of the rest of the channels, is something a little bit different. What Odyssey does is actually give something back for you bothering to upload to their channel. And if you are a UK grower, then as far as I can see at the moment, guys, I think I'm the only one. I can't find anyone else on there. If I'm wrong, leave an invite for your channel down below, and I will subscribe or whatever. I'll click the little button that says yes to your channel. And because what Odyssey does is every time you upload something, if someone watches it, a number of credits or library crypto is added to that video. So you technically own it, but it sits on the video itself. As long as you don't take that credit or those credits off of the video, then basically it will kind of not uprate the video, but it'll show your commitment to your channel. There's a mental cyclist coming, so in a bit. Random. So I think he was listening to the radio as he's riding along. It's actually really quite pleasant just to listen to the sounds of the birds and animals. And is it gonna let me do it? Let me have my camera back. Nope. There's some deers up there. I can't show you. Seems like once it's set, it's set. So we're set on basically you can do all this weird shit, and basically it should just stay stable. Uprating from the bootleg a little bit, but it's still the style. It's still the bootleg. So anyway, so if you leave the credits onto your videos, it shows commitment to your channel, and you'll see overall that you have spent this much promoting your channel and your work. Obviously you can remove those credits and then convert them into cash. I think about, at the moment, 8 library credits or crypto is worth about 80 cents. So yeah, it gives you something back, and you don't have to support all the wanker adverts and all that stuff. Not that I've ever monetized anything, and to be perfectly honest with you, joining Odyssey wasn't anything about obtaining crypto, but you can get it literally from just watching videos. So each day you watch a video, even if it's 10 seconds long, you'll get something between 100 and 0.2, on average being 0.2, and another mental cyclist. But yeah, so hopefully that's recording now. It's doing something weird. Wait, 2 seconds. Back again. Like all the cyclists. And I thought I'd come down today a little bit later in the evening, when the sun's a little bit less hot, because it's been hot today, like 30 degrees. So guess what? Rather than complaining about the cold, we're complaining about the heat, because we're English after all. That's what we do. And damn, man, over these 3 days the plants have exploded. Unfortunately, I had a little bit of fun with the orange maize blaze, being the banana blaze. Unfortunately, a slug managed to get under the plastic or through the little hole and had a fucking feast of it. So thankfully it's not killed it, and it's not taken off the nodes. It's just had a munch of the leaves and then kind of fucked off. But it will recover. But to be honest with you, autos, they're on a timer, so 80 days, 90 days on average from start to finish. You can't push them past that because they just die. Unlike a photo period where if you give it the correct light cycles in an indoor grow, you can just grow it into an absolutely monster, and then flick the lights over to 12-12 and it will then go into flower. That's a huge beast. It's not like autos, so those autos or the first set of autos might not be so great, but we'll see. We are a very long way away from the finish line just yet. Very long way. We really have nothing left. We are scraping the absolute bottom of the barrels. We are into the jars and trying to scrape the fucking trichomes off the side of the jars, which and it's taught me some things. As in, you really don't need a lot. Like, you only need a little bit, really, to get the desired effects. And considering that I was doing like 80% to 20 tobacco in a huge like fistfuls of weed, because when you grow your own, you don't weigh out 3.5 grams. You take a fistful and then smoke through that, and then take another fistful and smoke through that. But yeah, the plants have exploded. So in a couple of days I'll put up another video showing the garden. Yeah, sorry, I don't speak at my yard because though my neighbours well aware, and they don't give me a hassle about it or anything like that. I just try to be as trouble-free to them as possible. So talking about things in the back garden and all that type of stuff is a bit blatant. So I try not to do that too much, and everything goes all right. So yes, all fun and games. And I see quite a lot of people are out already, planting out in their gardens. Some very big growth going off this year, so that'll be pretty cool to see. I mean, it's just me on my own, so I grow an abundance of plants only in so much as for what did you say, statistical chance. The more plants, the more likely I am to crop at least one. And in previous years I've done 100 plants and then not really got anything out of it, because well, you can never truly know whether you're going to get to harvest or not, whether something's going to kill it, something's going to eat it, or anything really. It's all in the hands of the Lord. Many are the plans. Oh yeah, everything's going well. 20 days. It's only 20 days until you get all of your freedoms back. What do you reckon the chances of that are? I was thinking maybe I might do one on a video, on each of these videos, a countdown to the 21st. In the video on the 21st, saying something along the lines of, yeah, did you think they were going to actually keep their word? These guys are fucking wankers. But they're doing an excellent job. They're doing exactly what they need to do. I mean, over these bank holidays, or over the bank holiday weekend, I went off to Malden, down in Essex. Essex is a fun place. Why? I don't get it. I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, I've got long hair that some people might say, oh, you got long hair like a girl. But I don't put foundation on. And I don't wear lip gloss. And I don't wear like my girlfriend's jeans. And I don't wear her shoes. and then go out on a night out and try and act like I'm a fucking hard nut MMA fighter. Anyway, each their own. So I went to the beach down there. I'm happy to say I did not see in the entire day one single person with face nappy on at all. So the game and the lies is obviously starting to wear off on the general public. But again, all I'm going to say is we've been planning this for a very long time. We have put our people in the positions that they need to be in. We've orchestrated everything, and we've finally gone, go. Do you honestly think, even for 1 second, that no one in a big group of people who are all calculating this with their forums and their control groups and their social engineers and their behavioural scientists and all the rest of it, that they stopped for 1 second to think, snap, we forgot about them actually realising what's going on here? They want you to realise what's going on. They want you to be in a position where you are trying to quote unquote wake people up. But what are you waking them up to? Are you waking them up to a fucking inception, your dream within a dream? Because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing like this kind of bizarre thing of like, you're waking people up to the reality of what these people are doing, whilst at exactly the same time promoting their ideologies. The New Age. They're bringing a God man, shall we say, the man of perdition. So obviously they want you to believe. Hence the reason why they've been going on about all the Indian variant. Oh no, maybe it's the Fields variant, maybe it's the Clouds variant, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles variant, who knows, or maybe fucking little bugs in the air got on my nose, probably that. So yeah, when they want you to believe, they want you to not come to your own conclusions, they want you to feel like you have come to your own conclusions and think that you have thought these thoughts all by your own, whilst having seeded through videos, movies, TV programming. The programming is obvious now. The music, all these industries have subtle little things, hint, 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 and they want you to. They're like directing the sleeping masses into the corral where they want them to go, and that's including of the people who are like, I'm wide awake, I took the red pill. It's like, unless you are following Jesus Christ, you never took a red pill, you took a blue pill. And I'm not talking about the Jesus Christ that has been sold to you, I'm talking about the one that you as an individual have to go and find by yourself. You cannot trust anyone with this stuff. You have to figure it out by your own. You have to disregard almost what other people are saying, and you have to use discernment. And what I have come to understand is that's what the Holy Ghost is your ability to discern the truth from the lie, because the Holy Spirit is the one that will guide you through all of this and will take away your sadness, and will allow you to carry on. And it's a delicate thing. It will slip out of your hands before you even know it. All it will take is a day of your mind just wandering off and you to forget, and you're back to your old ways, like a dog returning to its vomit. Yeah, there's plenty of people out there. I mean, like, fucking hell, the rise of the gurus and the rise of these people, they are fully, I tell you, I'm fucking telling you, they are fully planned for all of this shit. All of these so-called big operations to take down the deep state and all this shit. It's all part of the fucking game. It's all part of the game. Wait for the saviour, wait for the saviour. And then eventually will come that saviour, but that saviour will be this like clusterfuck of a man who will seem like the most amazing thing that anyone has ever seen and deceive the whole world. It's going to be incredible. I mean, I'm going to have a really bad time at that point because you think the fanatics of Islam are bad. Oh, that will be like the days of everyone. It's like, what am I going to do today? Let's find someone who doesn't believe in our God and cut their fucking head off. And like I said before, I mean, to be honest with you, I'm pretty much down with that because I don't really particularly want to be, that's not going to be a world that I'm particularly wanting to live in. But we'll see. We will see. Just like the 21st of June, we'll see, won't we? As each day rolls on and carries on and goes about its course, as the sun travels the sky and the moon comes up, and yeah, as it goes round and round. But in many ways, I hope it's not yet. At the same time, it's getting a bit frustrating. I wish it would hurry up, but because the faster this happens, the sooner the good stuff happens. Because rather than really focusing on all the bad shit, have a look at the end and see all the good shit. It's like this. How would you like to be inside of a body that can run endlessly, that doesn't hunger, that has no need to thirst for water, where you could hold your breath forever, where you are literally free and bound to nature, like in a way that we're not? I guess in some way, and it's really like a horrendous analogy, but like the Na'vi in the film Avatar, because they like to rub this shit in your face. I think kind of like that, but you're connected to all things, because you're connected to the Creator, who will be here with us in the form of Christ, but not as the man that so many people have tried to draw pictures and make videos and all sorts of shit about. Where a freedom like you've never experienced before, where there's no worry, there's no sadness, where it's just like happiness. But here where we are standing right now, here where you're listening to this, not in some place where there's like fluffy clouds, because that shit's not anything even remotely like what's described. In heaven, there are trees. In heaven, there is grass. In heaven, there are clouds. In heaven, there are birds. There are animals. It's almost identical to here, like a mirror image of it. Because again, they like to show you things and then kind of like mock it in a way. It's like dangling the prize in front of your eyes, knowing full well that it's been snatched right away from you because it's just been made into like a fairy tale. But like I say, you have to seek it out yourself. Go and read. You'll find many a stumbling block on the way, but you're going to need to do it sooner rather than later. They really are, because where's your strength going to come from when they're going to fuck your front door in and come in and try and stick shit into your family? Where was your preparation if you thought that there was someone who was going to do some lawsuit that was going to stop all these people? Where's your fight going to be when this time happens? Because you've been waiting for something else. I mean, I've been preparing, and I've been mentally preparing as well as physically preparing, because you can mentally prepare for this stuff. You can mentally prepare for running and fleeing into the wilderness. You can mentally prepare for this stuff to think in your mind, what is this going to be like? What's the issues that I'm going to find? What happens if I end up with none of my stuff? What am I going to do then? How am I going to deal with the kids being out here? What am I going to do about water? What am I going to do about these things? and having a mind to be thinking about this stuff is mentally preparing for it. So when it happens, it's not a big fucking clusterfuck of a shock to you. Whereas also being prepared by having reserved food, obtained weapons, and in the UK it's not easy to obtain weapons. You don't want to be killing people. You don't want that shit on your conscience. But should it come down to it, a lion has claws, a shark has teeth, a deer has antlers, a bear has claws. But what does man have? Well, man has his hands. And just in likewise fashion, a bird has its nest, a fox has its hole, but the sons of men have nowhere to rest their heads. There's a lot of wisdom written in there, and some of it, if you were to read it, you would well and truly find out that there's a lot of stuff that happens in your day and a lot of sayings and things like that that you are completely unaware of, but because you live in the West, you have grown up with it, and it's become part of the things that we know, things that we teach the little ones, and yeah, but that's where it comes from. Yeah, I can see. What is quite funny is the Hebrew Israelites are back on the rise again. I'm starting to see all their videos start popping up all over fucking all over BitChute, so it shouldn't be too long before they're all over Odyssey again. And they're funny guys, because if you ever listen to some of these fuckers, they'll start by going, "All praise to Yehuda Ashtabakilsania, Kajakanoxniknar, and the Most High." It's like, do you think that impresses anyone? Who are you trying to impress? I think God is looking at you going, "Hi, yeah, man. Look at the glory this one's giving me by saying all of this pointless, stupid shit, which is literally driving everyone away from me. Thanks a lot, dude. Thanks a lot. Spread your hatred. Make people hate you, and therefore they'll hate me. You're doing a fantastic job. Keep it up, buddy. You certainly are my people." Hey ho. But yeah, anyway. I can't help it, I'm sorry. I keep going on about this stuff. It's important. It's important. You shall not live by bread alone, my friends. You shall not live by bread alone. There's more going on here than what meets the eye. Hopefully, we have got not much sabotage in this video. But if the weather sticks out and stays nice, in the coming days we'll be going out and drilling some holes in the ground to get the plants ready. I haven't looked back on the previous years to see when I went and planted out, but I did have a look back at one of my very first videos, because I was going through on Odyssey to see whether they had actually uploaded all of my videos, and yes, they are all on there. And the very first video, I think I had them in pots in a patch of bracken on about the 20th of June, and I'd taken them out a few days before that. So around the end of June, I think, is when I kind of normally get them all out. But my back has been fucked, like royally fucked, because you do stupid stuff as a teenager and you live to regret it when you get older. It's just how life works. You cannot tell a teenager shit. It will not listen to you if it's how it's meant to be. It's meant to be like that. It's like your rebellious phase where you just rebel and rebel and rebel. Because you're the smartest thing in the world when you're a teenager. It's not until you get a bit older then you start to realise. And then in that wisdom of being older, you then tell teenagers and they're like, "Fuck off, old man." Well, I tell you what does amuse me somewhat. It really does amuse me. Is that a lot of these teenagers, they idolize like celebrities who are about the same age as the people who are telling them not to do this stupid shit. And it's like, but you're old. It's like, hey, listen, hey, listen. Those people that you're watching over there, they're fucking same age as me. What? Because they dress in that way, you think you, you think they're the same age as you? Oh, they're fucking same age as you. It's like you watch those American teen movies where, oh yeah, we're teenagers in high school, yet every single one of them is like 34 years old, 35 years old. Oh yeah, such is life. Such is the fun and games. But I'll be happy to get the plants out and start doing the do again for this year. So another year goes round. So I think shouldn't really be trashing this guy's field. I guess I am on the edge. All the cornflowers, so these little blue flowers. Yeah, so some time ago I was in this field of corn. Yes, corn. Not maize, corn. Wheat, barley, oats. This is all corn. It's in its original name is what it is called. It's just a generic word for grain. That's why you have this thing called the corn exchange. And maize has been called corn for I don't really know exactly the right reason, but I can have a uneducated guess that it was something to do with the fact that they had a really difficult time trying to grow corn, barley, oats, wheat in the Americas when they went over there in their settling parties, and because the natives there grew maize, they decided to call that corn, and from that point on maize has been called corn. But yeah, the grasses is corn. It's just the old term that has been, like many things, I guess, lost in translation in some way, shape or form. In some way, shape or form, just like many things. Like, it's these little changes over time is what's twisted kind of everything. So, like, for example, the word Bible. If I say Bible, what is it that you think of first? Because if you're thinking that it's the Holy Bible, then that's because it's been misinterpreted and its name has been changed. Bible, or the word Bible, literally means a collection of books that relate to each other. That's why you get some people like, oh, you have called that the cookbook's the cook's Bible. That's sacrilege. No, you just have applied the word to something which it isn't. Bible is just a collection of books all relating to each other. And if you were to gather up a bunch of eclectic cookbooks that all relate to each other in a style and fashion, then that would be a Bible. That's why it's called bibliography. And music is called a discography. And there's many other ones for other things. So it is. It's like the word holy. So again, what's the first thing that you think of when you hear the word holy? The word holy means completely other to anything else. It's different in a way, shape that can't be explained outside of this word. So, and I kind of, I don't know, I explain it to my kids using Minecraft, because Minecraft is a really good way of explaining everything. And if you complete Minecraft and you defeat the Ender Dragon and you go through the credits, there's some very interesting things that the people of Mojang have put into the end, and it's almost like a mocking. But anyway, in Minecraft, everything's a cube. It's all a cube. No Satan's cube and cube worship and cube the cubes, and breaking open of a cube is a cross. But put it like this: if you've ever played Minecraft, imagine yourself as a villager, and all you've ever known in your entire life is everything is a cube. There is cube water, there is cube blocks, and then blocks break apart, they turn into cubes, and everything opens up in cube type fashions, and it all sits in cube type shapes. Imagine one day if out of nowhere a ball dropped out of the sky and bounced and bounced and bounced and bounced in front of you, and then rolled and stopped at your feet. Your mind would just fucking implode. Well, that's the angels. If you were to see one, they would be totally and utterly indescribable. And heaven is likewise. It's like you could try to put, as a villager, it'd be like, it was this shape, and you could try to make this shape out of the cubes, but it would always be made of cubes, because you would never be able to get that shape, because it doesn't exist. There's nowhere, anywhere. And then obviously, because there's none of it anywhere for anyone to see, they'll go, yeah, okay, well, show me then. So in likewise fashion. Yeah. But yes. There's like another really good one as well, is another good like kind of analogy to kind of show this stuff is if you ever watch Samurai Jack. I really quite like Samurai Jack. It's pretty good anime, Samurai Jack. And there's a 2-part special that they did for Samurai Jack, and it's the beginning of where a coup came from. And we're not talking about any of that bullshit, because that's all just fantasy bullocks. What we're talking about is his dad. So Jack's dad enters into heaven, or what they describe in this as heaven, on this, like, I don't know, it's like an 8-legged horse with wings or whatever, and he meets these 3 smiths who forge him this sword out of light, and then give him the sword, and then send him back to the earth to defeat a coup. And he defeats a coup and plants him in a tree, which is where the very first episode of Samurai Jack begins, where he gets out of that tree. However, what we're specifically looking at in this part is how his dad draws what he saw. And in the first episode, when he's there and he's seeing it, and in the beginning of Samurai Jack, you see painted all over the walls of the castle, you see what his dad saw. But because he's been completely unable to display or explain or visualize what he saw, he's done it in his best possible way, which is to do it in this kind of like Japanese demon type artwork, like your typical like Japanese type art all over the wall, which looks absolutely nothing even remotely like what he actually saw. But it's when I saw it, it's just a good analogy to show like how this operates, how it's going about its business. It's like the Book of Enoch. It tells you about how all this stuff works, and when then you go and look at it, you can actually see it. You can see the things that he describes in there happening in reality. It's like watching the clouds. Like if you see like slow time lapse, it's like making the invisible visible. If you see clouds forming, it literally looks like a window has been opened and these clouds are just pouring out of it. And when you see the lightning and the thunder, when you watch it in time lapse, it appears in certain locations, and then those locations kind of move and shift about in the clouds. It's interesting, to say the least. I mean, think of it as you will. It's just interesting how all of these things kind of marry up. It's like the evidence. It's like they show you every day when you wake up, and they show you when you go to sleep, and they show you when you wake up, and they show you when you go to sleep. But I guess it's the battle with the ego, and it's quite amusing. Like this now, it's like the ultimate ego battle. If you ever wanted an ultimate ego battle, because basically what's kind of happening here is, there's people who have really fucking bought into this, really bought into it, and because they've really bought into it, to be told, you've been deceived, is just too much for them, because their ego will not allow them to admit that they were foolish enough to be deceived. Some of them will, and they'll go, and they'll kind of be like the people who go, oh yeah, well I had my suspicions all along, I had my suspicions. And fair enough to you, okay, if that's how you're going to deal with your ego, then fine. No worries, at least you're now out of that situation. But you've still got the ego issue there. But there are some whose ego will never allow them to ever be set free. They will literally fall on their sword. Literally fall on their sword for it, because it's like, I will not, because I am so smart, no one can pull the wool over my eyes. And partially that's what this is kind of about. It's like, hard to explain. It's like that fight, I guess, that I had in my head with that thing telling me to deny everything, was like my ego, and I wouldn't allow it to win. I don't know, it was strange, but I'm happy. It makes me happy. It's not that I don't get sad. I mean, fucking hell, last year I went into a massive depression spiral. Worst thing that's ever happened to me in my life. It was like darkness closed in on me. It's not fun, and it basically stemmed out of the things that Jesus said. Is like, if you had faith, even the smallest mustard seed, you'd be able to do these things. You'd be able to do them. And it was like, well, I believe, truly, in all honesty, with my entire being, that you are as real to me as my body is real. Why can I not do them? And it's like, if I could do these things, I could escape the situation that I'm in. But do you hate me that much? Is your hatred for me, have I done something that bad that you hate me that much that you're never going to shine your face on me? Well, I woke up this morning, so his face still shines on me. So yeah, it was a bad time. Mushrooms really fucking helped. It's not an instant cure. It's not like that. The depression was still there, but it helped so much. I've never taken antidepressants, so I don't know what that's like, but I can certainly tell you the mushrooms helped. And there's a reason why God created them. And I think it's quite funny that the psilocybin or psilocin chemical compound image is a man with outstretched hands and a cross on the other side. This is the one who created all things and didn't create all things without a purpose and a reason. And I think those mushrooms are, I think they're particularly dangerous for someone who's unaware of the power of what those things are. And I think that's the reason why, like, you know, if you go to these like shamanic places, they're like, no, only the shaman does this stuff, only the shaman, like, we let the shaman do this stuff because, like, just don't. There's a reason for that. These are like keys to stuff that, you know, like psychosis. They'll say like, oh, if you take too much LSD, you'll get split personality syndrome and all of this type of stuff. But yeah, I think these randoms are still here. I don't want to film them. Yeah, they are still there. Right, anyway, I'm gonna end it here. There's a deer up there. Camera, look. It's just like there. Just chilling out and watching me. I don't know what type of deer they are, but they've got big old ears. They're not a muntjac deer. It might be a roe deer or something like that, I'm not sure. I don't know all of these things too well. But anyway, as the sun goes down, this is UK Field Ninja. See you all later.